Hey guys, I'm the most civilized savage. I'm here with you again, and we're gonna go over Joe Biden's speech today. Congratulations again at being president, number 46. But I had some questions about your speech, and I was wondering if you could answer them because I am confused with the words that you used extremely vaguely, right? And considering your past transgressions, I don't think you should be the one speaking those words. But let's start, right? This is where the fun begins. My fellow Americans. Well, being American is very debatable at this point, and what it means to be American and many other things is very debatable at this point, and I'm not gonna go into that, right? Clearly, anyone can be American nowadays, and it doesn't matter who you are, what you've done, nothing. You it just doesn't matter, and as we'll see with executive orders going out in the next couple days on a couple of those things, but that's a whole nother topic. This is America Day. Well, no, not even close. So our 20th Amendment made this a kosher day for inauguration and the like, for simplicity and other things, so that the bureaucratic do-nothings get less work, simpler work, right? Every 4 years, right? It just makes things easier to plan ahead and do things productively, right? This is not America Day, okay? July 4th, that is a fucking America Day. And guess what? You were saying don't fucking celebrate it this year, so I don't want to fucking hear it, right? Memorial Day, right? Soon we're probably going to cancel that because of how it was foreseen as an event, right? And how it became a holiday and the likes, which is fine, I guess. But whatever. We could get rid of a lot of holidays, in my opinion. But that's the thing is, this is not America's Day, right? This isn't the day the shot was heard around the world. This isn't the day we decided to sign our Declaration of Independence. This isn't the day we decided to sign the Bill of Rights or our Constitution. You're number 46, right? We've had 59 inaugurations, I believe. So if you're telling me that this is America Day out of all the days in our history, okay, whatever, guy. I appreciate your opinion, but this one America does not agree, right? I still had to go to work. I still had to pay taxes. I still don't know that many Americans that know this document, right? The first document, right? I don't know many Americans that know the Constitution. I don't know many Americans that know their human rights. And I don't know many Americans that know much of anything besides of what's on the TV, which is its own topic to discuss, right? And so saying this is Americans Day, bullshit. But let's go to the next thing. This is Democracy's Day. Well, I could see that in some view, right? Instead of having all the people at the inauguration like normal, you had a bunch of military and flags from all across the world. Okay? Yep, that sounds pretty democratic. Globalism is pretty democratic to some people, as we can see in our own country, right? So we have roughly 330 million people, right? like 180 million people voted. There's 75 million ish people that are under the age of 18, so they can't vote. They aren't adults, they aren't human, they have no rights. They have guardians. They have people responsible for them. So they don't get anything, right? And then that leaves about 70 million ish, give or take, right? Just willy nilly swinging their dicks around saying, hey, I don't like either side. I'm not voting for this. You guys aren't American. What the fuck are you guys doing, right? And that's where I've been at, right? I've been asking the questions, I've been talking to people, and nobody has the answers. They're all, ask that guy, ask this guy, right? You'll find out when you find out. You just have to read the 6,000 pages in 3 hours to find out. Remember that? 4 hours maybe, whatever it was. That was this year, right? That was recently. And so I don't know. Yeah, your democracy won, right? Your 35% of Americans rule the country by voting in their 500 people, depending on which area and what kind of socialist your area is. Yeah, that's as simple as it gets, right? Your communities in your social economic region that control your everything, right? That's democracy, I guess. Although I wish they would ask me how I felt about that, what I knew, what I could contribute. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And my government has never asked me what I can do for them. They always just take. They always just give excuses. They always do a lot of things. So, do I believe Demos Creighton? Probably not. Not anymore, right? Demos Creighton is what has enslaved me, because there's 180 million retards out there that voted for someone that they've never met. And maybe they have met, maybe for 10 minutes. Fuck. Okay. A day in history, right? That's the next part. A day in history, guys. Wow. When in the course of human events. Next. And hope. Okay, so a day of history and hope, right? Well, let's talk about hope. I have been dreaming to live for a long time, and the more I live, the more I find out that I'm getting closer to it, finding some sort of answers, and doing what I need. And the hope is much like Pandora's box, right? It's the last thing that you get out of it, right? You have to bear through all the disasters and tragedies of the world, right? To even understand that little ounce of hope. And you might have your own tragedies, and someone might have worse tragedies. I'm sorry for them both, right? To suffer is to live, said some guy sometime, right? And so hope is a good thing. I have hope for the future. I have hope for a lot of things, and sometimes it's hard to be hopeful in these times. When you turn on the TV or open your phone or do anything and they say bad things are going to happen every day, that does not make me hopeful, right? But that's okay. And you can say that, but hope, where I get my hope is what I do in my own house, how I prepare for all the tragedies that you have put on me, and that's fine too, I guess. the tragedies that have affected me have affected a lot of people, and it shouldn't have affected us as much as it has in our lifetimes, right? Do I give a F about some guy I have never met and never will meet? Yeah, if I meet him and all of that. But I won't. And so I shouldn't care. And unfortunately, that's the reality because he's not in my house. He's not helping me protect from the tragedies that you speak of, the terrorists and the atrocities and all of that, right? No, nobody is going to be there the day you die, except for the tax collector, right? And depending on how you do things, right? You could have a lot of people there when you die. Gandhi had a lot of people there when he died. But that's a joke. That's a joke, okay? Jokes aside, um, of renewal and resolve. So, renewal is a really interesting word because it can mean the same one thing and then it can mean the opposite of it, right? And it can mean something else entirely. There are different ways to renew something, to have a rebirth. Think of it like, okay, a snake sheds its skin and it molts just a layer just to renew itself and grow and be better, right? A butterfly renews itself through metamorphosis where it completely breaks itself down into a liquid and reforms, right? And then there's like the phoenix, right? The phoenix can die of old age or an injury, right? It can turn to ash, and from the ashes will rise anew, right? Young and youthful and not as experienced and all that, right? And so in this renewal, what is it a renewal of? Is it a renewal of tyranny? Right? I could see that. Is it a renewal of the old ways, the new ways, the global ways? Which ways? Right? And if history is doomed to repeat itself, it shouldn't be that much of a renewal, right? It's just history repeating itself. You can ask Cassius, Caesar, Brutus, right? You can ask Octavius, right? Talk about Alexander the Great and his conversation with Diogenes on that, right? So, Alexander, find me the bones of your father, right? He looks just like any other man. And so what are we renewing, right? And what did 170 million people sign into this year? What have the people that they voted in before chose to do this year that some people didn't want? What have they forced upon us, right? What are we renewing? What are we revitalizing or helping grow? What are we doing as Americans? And we go to resolve. Well, resolve is a funny thing, and it works a couple ways as well. Sorry, my dog is sleeping. Hey, wake up, Hades! Anyways, so resolve works two ways. You can. Alright, I'm gonna pause this real quick. I'll be back. Alright, let's hope I have the resolve to finish this video, or at least where I was going, and to continue onward. So resolve works in a couple of ways because you can have really strong resolve and your results will never change, and you will keep trying and trying. And we have a definition for that, and it's not resolve. So that is also something we need to take into consideration, because resolve is a powerful tool, right? Um, you can get a lot of vindication from just a little bit of resolvement, right? Just trying a little bit to fix a problem, right? And we just rush through problems. We just rush and do things, right? We talk about this being America's Day, and this election had to happen now, and all of these things that we just had to choose actions right now before we had all the information. And we never get all the information, right? And that is fine. We, as normal American citizens, do not need all the information. It's just there are certain events in the course of human events that we as Americans should have more rights to, like many of the things that have been declassified in the last 10 years. Those were wonderful reads, besides the black. But that's a whole nother topic. And so, resolve can help us build an empire and help us just willfully do what we have to do if you have the resolve to do it. The problem is resolve can be dangerous when you get martyrs and sycophants. And when you do that, and you've been building these martyrs and sycophants for years now, you have been just poking each other and making enemies. But the reality is that you, as the three branches, have manipulated the masses to being so hateful towards each other, when it is you guys just playing poker games pretty much, right? It is such a facade, and I am just sick and I want to quit, but you don't answer petty fucking Americans like me, so we'll continue, right? And so my resolve is to hopefully get answers from some of you sooner or later. Yet I still have work, I still have bills to pay, I still have things I need to do. I don't have a whole life. There's COVID out there that could kill me any day, apparently, and I still have to put food on my child's table before they starve, right? That I have obligations that you don't care about, right? Because you came and spent 10 minutes talking to me, right? And so, do I have any respect for our government? No. It's not really American anymore, right? You can read my Declaration of Independence or watch it or whatever, right? My Declaration of Independence stuff, and I haven't finished, but you can see where it goes. And you know, you aren't my king of Great Britain, right? What the only thing I've seen cops beating are redcoats in my lifetime, right? I never saw them as police, right? What is a police officer besides a redcoat, right? And that's an interesting topic to go over. Many people don't understand that phrase of wording, right? And that's okay. But through a crucible for the ages, well, so we're going to sacrifice, and this is going to be a sacrifice for the ages. Well, hopefully there won't be a sacrifice for the ages. I personally have not been around that long, but I'm sick of sacrificing myself for the incompetence of others. I'm sick of sacrificing so much and risking so much, right? I have been a failure in my lifetime. That is okay, right? But I've worked for what I have, and I've tried, and I've put in a little resolve, and I've taken the crucifixions that people have put upon me and bore it on my shoulders, right? I don't care what fucking some nobody has to say, right? And so he's asking us to all sacrifice. Well, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't vote at all. Instead, I gave a petition to the government to, I don't know, quit being American until you guys show me that you're American, right? Um, so that's what I did. I didn't vote. In people that I've never met and will never meet and don't trust, and it's just opinionated bullshit, and I am so sick of it, and they are just do nothing bureaucrats, and that's an old phrase, and you might not understand it. It's from a constitutional party that was called the do nothings, but all three branches have become that party in my opinion, and they are do nothings, right? So what will we be sacrificing is my question on that point. And then America has been tested anew, and America has risen to the challenge. This is good. I can handle this. I can do this. But how have we really been tested as a people? How far we can go before we get a little pissed off? How far you can push us? How far you can ruin our economy and families and make your bullshit rules and everything else? Is that what we're talking about? Right? Because tested anew, right? Yeah, America has been tested anew. I don't see any Americans, right? This is fucking new America, right? The United States of Socialism under the Federal Reserve for which it stands, right? Or whatever you want to call it, right? And so, America, in many regards, has risen to the challenge, but in many other ways has not. And what can we do about this? I'm not sure there's anything we can do about this, which is the sad thing. But if you get someone to just stop and think about things for a little bit longer and start worrying about themselves just a little bit more than someone else, right? And unfortunately, people need to start worrying more about themselves, right? If COVID can kill you, I'm sorry, try to avoid public places, right? But quarantines are not meant for the mass population. They are meant for zones, right? There's a red, yellow, orange zone. Well, orange, yellow zone, right? And these zones stand for hot, warm, and cold, and they represent sanitation areas, like a mixture of changing into something that will prevent the disease into a hazardous area. And we have a lot of government protocols that talk about certain regulations within these zones and how we need to go along with those protocols. And I don't know of a single person that really followed those protocols this year. I've seen a couple instances, right? But there were a lot of missteps, and quite frankly, it was absolutely pathetic what we did to everybody, right? But okay, today we celebrate the triumph not of a candidate, but of a cause, the cause of democracy. Well, I'm so glad that democracy won. I'm happy for you, democracy. Too bad America lost, right? But America's been losing for a while, so that's nothing new. Um, if you think America hasn't, invite someone to your house, right? See what happens. Either the cops or invite a stranger to your house, right? Because here's the thing: either the cops will come and arrest you for having people in your house, maybe past a curfew or whatever, or right, this guy could be a nut job, and then you have to call the cops anyways. But the cops might not come because, depending on the situation, right, you might have to defend yourself. And if you defend yourself because you invited some guy into your house with some nice hospitality, and he ended up being a nut job and you shot him, you're the guy that's now going to jail. Whatever. America, right? But, and so we say this cause of democracy, but I don't think the people won. I haven't seen the people winning for a long time. We people say we have a lot of freedoms, right? The one rule I was taught is nothing's illegal if you don't get caught, right? And so that's interesting, right? I've seen cops do illegal things. I've seen politicians do illegal things, from small government to large government politicians, right? I have witnessed fraud. I have witnessed a lot of things. And so, do I think all of the people in democracy have prevailed, right? I don't. And if you're not celebrating that a candidate won, then you kind of have a problem because the absolutely someone became the most powerful person in the world, at least for a little bit today. I haven't looked at current events in a while, but today, Joe Biden was the most powerful person in the world, and he didn't take any congratulations. I'm not sure if that's humble. I'm not sure what that is, right? And he said this. This is his words, right? So I'm not sure what to think about that part. The people, the will of the people has been heard, and the will of the people has been heeded. Demonstrating, right? I say that a lot. Oh well, Mullen Lobby, right? Anyways, the people have. You're not listening to the people. You haven't been listening to the people. You haven't been listening to the people for a long time. You listen to some people. You listen to annoying people. You listen to this person and that person that says they're this person and that person, right? You listen to all these people, and who the fuck are they really? Right? What have they done with their life actually? And that's an interesting thing when we get down to it, right? And so I've talked to the people. I've been talking to the people my whole life. And not one person likes the fucking government. Yeah, you're really listening to the people, right? Not one person likes the government. They deal with it. It's not like they have a choice because of how many other stupid people will keep putting into it, no matter what. No matter the situation, right? Bernie or die, right? Blue or whatever, right? Fucking, I don't know. That's its own topic, I guess, right? But I went over earlier about population sizes, and like the parties are the 180 million roughly people split in half-ish, like directly half. So the 70 million people is about equal to that, right? And then there's another 70. Wait. Yeah. There's another 70 million people that are um, kids, so they don't get rights pretty much. And so we have 4 quarters of people, and they each vote and represent different things, and some can't represent themselves. 2 represent complete opposites, or so they say, right? And the third will never get a spot in the light because they are not agreeing to either side that has the power, right? They are not kosher in that sense, which, whatever. I don't care. Y'all can do whatever the fuck you want, right? But the will of the people has not been heard, right? It hasn't, right? It's a joke if you think the will of the people have been heard. You haven't heard the people in a long time. You're not hearing the people. You're hearing some people, right? And you're not hearing everybody. You don't have enough time in the year to hear other people because you're fucking hearing each other talk in a fucking box and and just grapevine shit so bad in your little fucking boxes that you're just spitting out garbage all the fucking time. And it is so horrible and so useless to everyone. It's a goddamn shit show and it's a waste of fucking time. Right? That's all you guys fucking do is waste our fucking time and waste our fucking money. Right? That's another topic as well. Right? So we haven't been heard. And the will of the people has been heeded. Maybe, right? Heated by that fucking big barbed wire fence that you put around. Oh, now fences work to keep Americans out. Okay. And the big guns you have. Oh, now guns are good, right? When it's good against Americans, right? Oh, as long as it's our politicians that have the guns. As long as it's the people in power that have the guns, right? Because there's no way that we could have domestic, right, problems. There's no way about that. Domestic problems, nah, right? And so, shall we continue, right? We've learned again that democracy is precious. Democracy is fragile. It definitely is, right? Because so many times people say this is democracy, and people say this and that. It's a republic. It's a democratic republic. It's a democracy. It's this and that and this and that and blah blah blah, right? Well, the people haven't been choosing a lot lately besides 500 people that choose everything for them, and that has not been working out well for quite a while, right? 500 head people controlling 330 million people is doomed to have problems, right? And then we break it down, and the systems that they have put in place are failing again and again unless they're actually reasonable, right? But they keep flooding money into the failing programs, and that makes no sense. Let them fail, just like you let America fail. You let the economy fail, right? So just let some of your stuff fail too, right? It's about time some of that stuff fails. You guys have been bandaging your garbage for too long, right? Your foundation is still great, and yet you just put trash on top of it, and fucking cardboard walls, and fucking duct tape and W2, and you say fucking it will go another year. And you just need to fucking take some stuff down and clean house and fucking fix some actual problems. And if you really think any other country is gonna leave you the fuck alone while America needs time to solve its own problems, I call bullshit because they can't even do it during a pandemic, right? Pandemic, right? So I call bullshit, right? If they're not willing to leave us alone now and they're still asking for money and everything else, they do not have our best interest at hand. So fuck those countries, right? We do not have the resources to be giving to other people right now. And if another country has a problem with that, we definitely have the military to just stop them, right? And we failed at our military tactics. Look at our 20-year war, 20-year war. Wow, that's a long time, right? And it's so stupid. So stupid. We could be using all those resources for better things, right? If we really wanted to turn that fucking desert worth of sand into fucking glass, we would have fucking done it years ago. You start at one side and you fucking stop at the other side, right? And when you're done sweeping streets, you go back through the way you came to make sure. It's called double tapping, right? And in doing such, right, you can go home and you're done with those people. Fucking just call it. Whatever happened there because of whatever they did to you. And blah 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 blah. I shouldn't go into this, right? Democracy is fragile. And democracy is precious, and it's so fragile that we've been teetering on fake democracy for goddamn 100 years in America, and nobody wants to fix a goddamn thing, right? You just keep wanting to push more bullshit, right? Fucking who can push the fucking furthest, right? But what do I know? I'm just one American, right? And so, at this hour, my friends, democracy has prevailed. Well, I watched it when he was speaking this, and the one person in my area that voted for that person didn't give a fuck that that person was speaking, so that was interesting. Another thing is my friends. Have you been in my house? No, then you are not my friend. Have you ate from my table? No, you are not my friend. Have you invited me to your house? Then no, you are not my friend. Have I worked with you? Do I know you? Right? You're just some fucking guy on the fucking TV that means nothing to nobody except for your goddamn self and your 10 friends. Right? And it's not me. I'm not your fucking friend, buddy. And I ain't your buddy, pal. I ain't your pal, guy. Blah, 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 blah. Right? And democracy has not prevailed. Right? Something else has prevailed, and I'm not sure what it is. And I'm not sure Joe Biden knows what it is because of the words that he's been using, that he used in his speech, right? So let's continue. from now on this hallowed ground, where just a few days ago violence sought to shake the capital's very foundation. Okay, so from now on, okay, starting today, on this hallowed ground, okay, the White House, right? A lot of things have happened there, like Canada, right? Okay, we're just a few days ago, okay, a couple days ago. It's the 20th. I think that shit happened on the 9th or the 6th or some shit. Okay. Let's see. Violence sought to shake the capital's very foundation. Well, yeah, maybe. Um, but would it really shake the foundation or would it shake your archetype? Right? And it has shaken some sort of foundation because you guys doubled down on what you were doing, and you guys doubled down on all of your actions, and you guys doubled down on everything, everything that the American people complain about, all of it. You doubled down, right? And so the foundation which we speak of, this Constitution, and what I speak of more so is the Declaration of Independence, right? These two documents are the foundation, and our Constitution, which everybody was hailing to bloody hell today, which is such a bastardized version of what it used to be that it's not even funny, right? Articles 1 through 29, fucking useless shit, right? But, well, some of it's useful. Anyways, fucking blah, 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 right? The Constitution has changed, right? This day, right? I mentioned that that's the 20th Amendment. They made an amendment that says what day the president. Like, did we really need that? We wasted getting all the manpower of America to say that. What about the District of Columbia? We gave Washington, D.C. the power of a state. Of a state. Maybe next it will be New York. Maybe after that, Chicago or Los Angeles. Some big metropolis, right? And then what? Right? And then what happens? Right? Who's going to be voting for what? And blah, blah, blah. I don't. We're supposed to be treated equal and more equal than this. And we are on the precipice of a new age, and we are lagging so far behind. And nobody seems to understand this, right? And everybody's being such hypocrites. It's sickening. But we come together as one nation under God, indivisible, to carry out the peaceful transfer of power. Oh, wait. Indivisible with liberty and justice for all. No. To carry out peaceful transfer of power while you're surrounded by barbed wire, snipers, guns, military. You don't let anyone there. There's more fucking world flags there and American flags there than people, right? There's it was such. It was a show. It was an entertainment thing. They had goddamn, I don't know, fucking Jennifer Lopez and Keith Brooks, fucking some guy, I don't know, fucking, man, it was a beautiful Star Spangled Banner, right? But here's the thing that happened. She was singing that song as the military was surrounding our capital, right? As they were inputting power into place, as they were banning the people from being there because the people can't be trusted, right? The will of the people can't be trusted. The will of the people has to be us, right? They are the will of the people, apparently, and so we have to trust them wholeheartedly. Whatever. And so, uh, this is where my opinion on this speech started to change for the worse, right? Because I was listening to it and I was like, okay, this is really good, right? This is doing me all right. But when he said, as one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, was not his next words, because there is no liberty and there is no justice for all, right? That has become a fake facade of the past, and that's okay. We can understand that that's okay to some extent, but to the extent it's gone to, we definitely need to fix some things, right? And so you say we peacefully transferred power. Well, in majority of the case, it was a peaceful transfer of power, right? A couple people died, I think, right? It's not too bad, right? As we have for more than 2 centuries. Well, hold up. You have had many trespasses and usurpations on your books, and they cannot all be forgiven, right? You guys are still discussing 150-year-old news, right? Today, we still discuss this because people want a part of that action, right? Because they think they can get something out of it, which is fine. I'm not saying anything it isn't fine, it's fine, whatever. I'm just laying down my opinions on stuff, right? And so, have all of our transfers of power been peaceful? Ask Abe Lincoln. Ask JFK, right? I don't think those transferred peacefully. And one was done by an American, and the other was done by an American. And so that's 2 out of 46, right? That's 2 out of 46. That's some bad odds. Like out of 100, that's some bad odds, actually, right? Holy fuck. Eh, I wouldn't like those odds, but might be worth it. You get paid a lot, especially nowadays. You get a shit ton of money for being president for life. What you have of it by the time you're that old and become president, right? George Washington was only 30 something. What the fuck do I know? Right? Anyways, this is it. This is where I've decided to end this video because I really wanted to just go through part of it and try to explain some of how I see these words being used and how they can be used in many ways, and I'm not sure I agree with how Biden is using these words, and I'm not sure a lot of Americans agree with how these words were spoken. But alright guys, have a good one. This is Most Civilized Savage, and he's out.